Just had one of the worst fear and greed indexes in a while, and I want to tell you why this is actually a good thing. And what you can see, if we go back to March 2020, we can see on the fear and greed index, we were having a big whoopsie doopsie. We were about 12 on the fear and greed index, which usually means that was the best time to buy. And you know what happened after March COVID times? Guess what? That was the best time to buy. You made an F ton of money. Also in May 2021, kind of halfway through the cycle, where Bitcoin would go from 64K to 30K, guess what? We had the same thing. We were back at 10 to 20 on the fear and greed index. And what would ultimately happen there? Bitcoin would go up to new all-time highs. Everybody thought the cycle was over, and we were really on to play sailing. And what I think is just funny right now is if you look at, again, yesterday was 25, last week was 16. We're now chilling at 34, but I do not think that we're off to the races just yet. So typically what you can do if you understand this video, and I'm going to tie this back on why the next 6 to 9 months are once in a lifetime, is if you can just follow stuff like this and this stuff that we're going to talk about in the next video, you will find the best buying opportunities, because a lot of people do the opposite. They buy when the fear and greed index is high, and then they sell when it's super, super low. And you're doing the opposite. You're always going to lose money. So I want to dive into this as well, going further. And if we tie this back to the charts on Bitcoin, right, the fear and greed index, what we can see here is in March 2020, Bitcoin was at $4,000, right? Just when those fear and greed indexes were at 10 to 20. And what happened? We had one of the best bull runs, not in history, because obviously 2013 was the best time to get your most returns, but especially in Bitcoin and many altcoins, we were up 1,600% by the year end of 2021. And then we had that May drop that we just talked about when those fear and greed indexes dropped again. Guess what? We had an extra rally again. Now, I'm not telling you guys we're off to the races just yet, because I know there's a lot of people out there thinking we're going to go to 65, 70K before the initial push up. But again, this is why the title of this video is so important. Why the next 6 to 9 months are once in a lifetime. Because again, you're probably investing for Q4 2025. And if you're not, maybe you should just keep trading. But last time I checked, most of the traders right now were getting liquidated. And guess what happened to most of your altcoins? Because again, we're probably invested in altcoins. We're probably not too Bitcoin heavy, especially our small investors. Nothing wrong with some Bitcoin, but I'll give you some examples. Ethereum, we literally double, right? Since those fear and greed indexes, since we had that May mini crash. You know what happened to Dogecoin? Dogecoin would literally 8x. A vertical chart, okay? Super, super good for those holders out there. Solana would 15x, and as we know, X Infinity pretty much 40 or so x. So pretty much everything went, and that was when fear and greed was at max pain. So it just goes to show you when we are having a little bit of a whoopsie doopsie, although it's hard if you bought in January, February time when we were higher, I can understand that. But all you can do right now is you can get more money, super hard to do, but if you can do that, you can get your DCAs super lower, and then you can make up for it for buying the tops, if that makes sense. I want to talk about this. I think this is super important that nobody's really talking about, and I don't want to make this too complicated because I want to keep this super, super simple for those new guys starting out. But this is the M2 money supply. So this is one of the catalysts on why we're very close, in my opinion, to the next, phase of this bull run. And it's extremely good news for us, because I want to dive back into this in a little bit of a second. And here's what the really M2 money supply means in layman terms, I guess you could say. The M2 money supply increases because of the following reasons, right? More liquidity in the systems. When M2 increases, that number that we just looked about on that chart, people have more money to invest in riskier assets, like cryptocurrency, right? So if central banks start printing money, it often ends in the financial markets, especially including crypto, right? Number two is lower interest rates equals cheap borrowing and an increase in M2 money supply, and that's often linked to lower interest rates. So cheap borrowing allows investors to leverage up, put money in speculative assets like Bitcoin and especially altcoins. And this can also be a catch-22, right? Because that's what we're having in right now. Why? You might be asking, okay, well, M2 money's going up. Shouldn't cryptocurrency be going up as well? But the catch-22 is people are now doing leverage trades, right? All those little speculative investments or speculative Jeffries, should I say, that are thinking, oh, well, maybe I can play catch-up because I've kind of missed the first phase of the bull run, or maybe the bull run's over and I want to kind of play catch-up. And these guys are getting liquidated in real time, okay? And that's what's causing the crashing, in my opinion. That's why I don't think we're off to the races, because we've got all this money being liquidated and the exchanges are making so much money. So until that happens, we won't be off to the races very, very soon. But I can ultimately promise you this. Eventually, the market does get tired of phases like this. And when that ultimately happens, we're going to see the next phase of this bull run. Remember, the title of this video is 69 months for a reason. It's not 69 days. It's not 69 hours. 69 months is where I'm estimating the top. And I might be wrong, but that's just what I can look at looking at previous cycles, and I'll get into that going forward. Number three is the wealth effect. More risk appetite when M2 is rising. Stock markets and real estate markets often do well. So this creates a wealth effect where people feel richer than they've ever been before, right? And they take more risk, leading to increased crypto investments with now people taking bets on cryptocurrency, right? They've got this fresh money. The money rotates from asset class, e.g., we get more money in cryptocurrency, and especially our altcoins, and I'll talk about that in a second. Now, number 4 is an inflation hedge narrative. When central banks expand this M2 money supply aggressively, it raises concerns about inflation, right? We all know when we go to shops and we buy basic goods, stuff is getting so expensive for the 9-to-5er, and I resonate with that. So that is another thing that we need to look at, and we will going forward. Many investors turn to Bitcoin and crypto as a hedge, okay, against inflation, especially the big boys. That's what they're doing right now, and I'll show you that in a second. And I do this because of currency debasement, and this is why Bitcoin is often called digital gold. Number 5 is speculation. This is the fun part. This is where FOMO money in the system fuels speculative bubbles. We've seen this across many bull runs and phases across this cycle and the previous 2021 and even 2017. As crypto price rises, FOMO, the fear of missing out, right? We've all felt that. You probably felt that as well. Even me, I felt that a little bit. I was like, okay, in January, Donald Trump's coming in office, and was like, okay, we need to get all our money in before we go off to the races. And that was a bad trade because right now we're way cheaper than that. But I promise you, even if you got in at those prices and you haven't sold yet, you shouldn't sell right now because I ultimately guarantee with 99%, especially Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana, can't really talk about the other altcoins, especially the low market cap coins. I think that you'll be fine in 6 to 9 months. What you should do is you should take that extra money and now DCA lower because you'll get more value, e.g. more coins today for a better 25. Again, if you look at the M2 money supply since the C19, we went from 70 trillion to 90 trillion. And then look at Bitcoin's price and alts at the same time. Again, M2 goes up, crypto goes up. Then look at the bear cycle of 2022. M2 goes down, crypto crashed. An example, 2020 and 2021 bull run, during the C19 and the US Federal Reserve printed trillions, massively increasing that M2 money supply. Interest rates were 0%, making cash super, super cheap. Crypto markets exploded when Bitcoin ran from 4K to 69K in less than 2 years, e.g. the 2021 bull run. Now, what happens when M2 contracts? Well, central banks reduce the M2 money supply and then crypto crashes, e.g. 2022, crypto winter, as the Fed started QT quantitative tightening and raised interest rates, Bitcoin dropped from 69K to 15K. Fear and greed went super, super low. You should have been buying 15, 16, 17, 18, 20K, even 30K. You would have made a fuck ton of money, especially on top altcoins. The bottom line here is M2 goes up, more liquidity, bull market. M2 goes down, less liquidity, bear market. And as we know, and I've talked about this maybe before on the previous slide, the M2 is going up. The only problem is you might be asking yourself is, why is cryptocurrency not up? Jake's talking a lot of shit. It's only because of this leverage disaster that we're having right now. Until that stops, and it will stop very, very soon, then we're off to the races. And guess what? I'm going to give you some more bullish news, although you might not feel like it now in the market. China just fired up the money printer, okay, to counter the US tariffs. So these guys are printing money, e.g. more liquidity, more opportunity. The big pump is coming. And again, you can see it on this chart going absolutely crazy. The biggest pumps are coming. Everybody's turning on money printer to obviously counter Donald Trump's tariff news. And I'll give you something else. Trump just bought $25 million worth of crypto. You can see here on his wallets. This was the other day, USDC 25 million. He bought 9 million, 0.96, so basically 10 million worth of Ethereum, 10 million worth of wrapped Bitcoin, and 1.45 million worth of Move. Obviously, World Liberty Financial, his company. So again, he is buying. So again, we follow the smart money. We have to understand this going forward. Now, give you some other good news, although it might not feel like it right now. Again, title of this video, 69 months. Really play with that, okay? So don't get mad at me in the comments if by the time I post this and cryptocurrencies even further down. I do still think we're going to go lower, by the way. So again, just this is talking about 69 months. Liquidations are very, very important. Once they go away, in my opinion, we're off to the races. If you didn't think that, you would have sold. You're here for a reason, just like me. I'm in the game with you. So let's talk about this. This is the USD dollar index, okay? And this pretty much tracks the dollar value. And I think this is so interesting because if we look back at the C19 crash, okay, back here, the US dollar got absolutely destroyed. What happened? Cryptocurrency ran. Guess what? Bear market came in. Guess what happened to the USD dollar ints? Cryptocurrency went down. USD dollar ints went up. Okay, super, super important. Now, here's an interesting one that a lot of people got wrong, including me. This is where I thought we were off to the races, but, you know, obviously liquidations, we didn't know that it was going to be so brutal because all these speculative investors, Jeffries, even the big players, started to go long and they got wrecked. And yeah, Donald Trump came in office here. The USD index peaks, but what I think this is very good because obviously you're looking at this USD index is going down. So again, you're thinking, why is cryptocurrency not going up? Because of all these liquidations. So we have to be off to the races soon, in my opinion. It just looks so, so obvious when we've looked at all the M2 money supply the the US dollar index. This only is going to keep going down, in my opinion. This is on the weekly. So again, once we get rid of all these liquidations, in my opinion, we're off to the races. So here's how the US dollar index affects crypto prices. This usually moves the complete opposite to crypto. So again, just like the M2 money supply, if M2 money goes up, cryptocurrency goes up. We want the US dollar to go down. You might be thinking that's a big issue, but I promise you that's what makes cryptocurrency go. So if the US dollar goes up, crypto prices often go down, just like we talked about before in the bear market of 2022. If it goes down, crypto markets often go up, e.g. the C19 whoopsie doopsie. E.g. a strong USD makes investors choose safer assets, okay, like bonds, so they sell cryptocurrency. They get very fearful. A weak USD makes riskier assets like Bitcoin more attractive, and then altcoins start to go because people get confidence in the markets. All we have to do, okay, this is a kicker for you, is understand this before other people understand this, and we have to front run them, because once everybody wakes up to this, although the Jeffries, the hairdressers, the mums and dads will never understand this, they're going to be buying the peak in 2025, so it doesn't really matter. But if we can front run these people, we can be prepared, and we have to be prepared to handle the short-term volatility like we're having today at the current time of recording, like we've had for the last month or so, because it won't happen tomorrow, okay? We're obviously seeing that right now. So in short, stronger USD, crypto drops. Weak USD, cryptocurrency rises. Okay, here's some other bullish news, although you won't want to hear this because everybody's panicking right now. We just had, again, this is from March 7th, so a week or so ago since I'm going to post this video, President Donald Trump signs an exclusive order officially creating the Bitcoin strategic reserve like he promised. So he is making moves. So this is him signing it right now. So again, we're going to talk about some altcoins, which I think is very important, but I also want to talk about this. And I think this is actually good to fucking see. So this is Pump.Fund. I don't want to call them scam coins, right? But if you're familiar with like Pump.Fund and all these little tokens that were either creating millionaires or scamming a lot of people, they're now down at record low numbers since September 2024. And it's time for utility coins, as Crypto Rand likes to say. Hopefully we get a gaming pump, some RWAs, some deepen, some AI agents, strong coins. They're not just scam coins. Again, these aren't scam coins typically, but a lot of people lose money on these because, again, the guys launching these coins are kids in their basement. And it's good to see that these coins, people are creating less of them. And again, this will eventually go up in the bull market or the next phase of this bull market. But this is interesting to see because people are now stopping to do this because they understand that a lot of people are not making money off these coins. They're trying to make 100x tomorrow, and this is good to see. So we want to be invested in strong coins for this bull run, and we're going to talk about that. So I think now is the time to start building up some good bags, although we probably still will go lower to 70, maybe 65k. Regardless of that happening, it can very well happen, but eventually, as we know, or at least I believe in, we're still going to have a good 2025. So I'm not telling you guys to buy any of these coins, but this is just super important because this is cryptos made in the USA. Now, we've got this new narrative on coin market cap, which is coins made in the USA. So obviously, as you know, we've got Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Cardano, etc., etc. But most of these coins here, I think they're going to have strong bull runs. Now, I'm not invested in every single coin because some of them, number one, I do not know. And number two, I cannot buy every single coin or we're very broke. But I think you should build up some strong utility coins. Okay, so a perfect example, again, not telling you to buy this. SUI is on a big discount right now. Obviously, as we know, SUI is super good for liquidity pools on Turbo Finance. We use it every single day. It's creating a lot of money there. But just as a spot position, yes, it would be nice to get this back at the 70 or so cents. But again, if you were interested in SUI at $5, you're now getting a 50% discount. In my opinion, I think SUI is a $10 minimum in this bull run. Again, that's not tomorrow. This can drop very fast like it's doing right now. But again, SUI is a strong coin. Market cap is at 8 billion, so it's not going to make you a millionaire. But again, we're all about here building a diversified portfolio, and we're starting with safer coins going forward. The next one is obviously HBAR. A lot of guys in the comments saying I'm going to pump my own bags. I can't pump HBAR's price, right? The market cap is almost $10 billion. Everybody should be buying back here like we were talking about it for years and years. You had your initial pump after the good news to 36 cents. If you were interested, okay, in HBAR at 36, 40 or so cents, you're now, guess what, getting it at a 50% discount, okay? Just understand that. So again, strong coin, strong narrative. Google, Bowen, I mean, all the fucking biggest players in the game are behind this coin. It had a lackluster kind of, accumulation phase, but guess what? You were rewarded. Stellar XLM, if you like XRP, okay, I think this is a good bet. This usually typically follows XRP. The problem with XRP, I think the market cap is too high to create you $1 million, depending on how much you have invested. It's not going to hit $1,000. It's not going to hit 10K. It's not going to hit $100. It's not going to hit $50, like a lot of YouTubers are saying out there. I think, Stellar XLM is a better bet against XRP because it pretty much moves the exact same as XRP, although XRP is not a bad coin as well. Ondo, as we know, BlackRock, one of the biggest companies invested in cryptocurrency. They're partnered with Ondo. Big discount right now. If you're interested at $2, you're now, guess what? Most of these coins are on 50% sale. Not to say that they can't fall 50%. Again, if that happens, I'm going to be buying like a fucking madman. But again, if you can DCA on the way down and be okay with that, you're never going to get in at good times. Let's talk about some more coins. This is the big winners of the US cryptocurrency policy that we've obviously just had announced by Donald Trump. Besides Bitcoin, drop in the comments below, what coin are you most excited about and what do you think will give you the biggest returns in safe categories? So again, we've got the Made in the USA category here. We've got the coins obviously mentioned by Trump. We've got attending the White House, which is obviously yesterday at the current time of recording, so maybe 5-6 days ago. And that's where you get your SUIs, your near protocols, which I think are very, very good. And obviously we've got the ETF applications and Dogecoin. I don't know if that's released yet. Let me know in the comments below. But yeah, I don't like Dogecoin, not because it's a bad coin. I just don't think the risk/reward makes sense for a meme coin. That's why I took Brett as my biggest meme coin play, because I was sick of all these little 18, 19, 20-year-olds making a fuck ton of money in meme coins. So again, I chose Brett. We'll see how that does for this bull run. I've got it in a liquidity pool. It's printing a fuck ton of money, but that's only if Brett continues to chill and doesn't go to zero. So again, Dogecoin did super, super well in the last bull run. ETF applications, if we go through and we get a plain sailing, I think this is still going to remain the #1 coin in the meme space category. $29 billion market cap. Again, that's my biggest flaw with this, coin. Although if you look back a few months ago, you're, guess what? Getting this at a 50% discount. So this is what you have to understand. This is really the whole message of this video. The next 6 to 9 months, when we get the peak that I expect, though it's not going to be exact, you're getting coins at 50% discount. So even back to the local tops, okay, that we wore at January kind of time, you are putting in $1,000 and you're making a quick 2x on this, in my opinion, let alone when it's probably going to beat the previous all-time high by Q4 2025. ADA, as we know, a solid coin in 2021, even 2017. Market cap on this one is too high for me to go heavy, in my opinion, because again, I'd rather buy Bitcoin, HBAR, Ethereum, Solana, etc. But again, big discount here. We obviously had the recent pumps at $1.30. Guess what? You're pretty much at a 40 to kind of 30% discount. I think it's not going to be a bad bet. Decentralized Mana, this is the only coin on this list that I maybe wouldn't buy, and the next one I wouldn't buy as well, just because I think there's better plays out there. But again, Decentralized Mana, as we know, the metaverse play went super, super well in the last bull run. You had the sandbox that pretty much mimicked it, so you could look at one of them, but this was on their list as well. Not interested in this one, not buying this one, but if you want a potential good run on this one, very, very cheap compared to $4.80 or $5 since the 2021. And as we know, Axie Infinity, we talk about this all the time. I reference this to a gaming bull run. I don't think this is going to hit the previous run. I think this hype is kind of over. I think it can still make you money, but I think there's other gaming projects out there that haven't really heated up yet. Although I will say, we will eventually get a gaming bull run, and this will probably surprise me. So again, if you're interested in Axie Infinity, you can look at that. I'm not personally invested in that. I'm probably not going to invest in this bull run. #1, because I don't like the game, to be honest. It's not something I would play. I would rather buy other gaming coins that I've already mentioned on this channel. I still hold a lot of Gala games, haven't sold any yet, haven't bought any recently, but I think that one will still have a good bull run, although I don't think it will hit the 80 cents, but it doesn't need to. My DCAs and that are so low. So those are coins you can look at. Again, I would really stick to utility on this plan going forward, some safer market caps, and once we get confirmation of the next kind of phase, then you can come under the speculative coins, e.g. under the $500 million market cap, $300 million market cap, even $50 million market cap. But I wouldn't take those bets right now because we don't know what coins are going to run. Most of these coins in this list will probably still make you money, but again, it's all understanding your emotions, because again, you have to be patient, okay? If you don't know how to be patient, you will, like me in 2021 that lost all their money. You have to stay relentless, okay? If you have a DCA strategy, maybe it's time to buckle down and not go out to the pub this weekend, not spend money on that holiday. Save the holiday, save the car bill, save whatever you're trying to buy, save that for 2025. And you have to be here for months, okay? Not weeks, not days. Be here for the next 6 to 9 months. It's not a long time to wait if we get this 2025 bull run. And again, if you don't believe we're going to get in this 2025 bull run, you should have sold a long time ago and came back in 27, 28 and started to DCA at lower prices if you believe in that. I still think there's going to be a bull run. I'm very optimistic with the M2 money supply, with the USD dollar going down, China printing a lot of money, with Trump signing that strategic reserve against Bitcoin. The stars are aligned, in my opinion. The only problem we have, and we have to get out of the way, is liquidations. But that's been going on for a month now. I do do think eventually that will stop, and then we'll start to get that next move. So I'd love to know in your comments below what you think of this news, if you're bullish or bearish, and how are you positioning your own portfolio. For me personally, the recent buys I've bought is Solana, that's doing very, very well in the pool. Haven't bought anything yet, but I'm looking at new opportunities if we can get the next wave of this liquidations to kind of finish, and then I think we'll move up. And also real quick, if you guys are interested on making passive income with DeFi liquidity pools, I'm opening up some free calls on my calendar. You can book a free call. Again, this is only for serious people. The calls are free, so you will get a fuck ton of value from one of my team members. But again, our whole goal in our 10K fast track community is to get you to 10K per month with DeFi liquidity pools. And the beauty of that is, guys, here's the kicker. You're earning free coins for cheaper at the current time of recording. So we've already had a few members hit 10K per month, and 10K doesn't need to be the stop of the goal. But again, many members are making 2K, 3K, replacing their full-time incomes with coins that they're interested in. We just show them how to do it. So whatever assets you have, chances are we can get you some liquidity pools to print you a fuck ton of money, depending on how much you have in. But again, no risk, no obligation. It's a free call. If you want to speak to one of my guys and get some more information, you can book that in the description below. But again, this is probably the best time to be doing this because coins are so cheap right now. You can put coins, e.g., a quick example, Solana and USDC, in a pool. You can print a bunch of Solana when we're at these prices, so when prices eventually go back up, you'll have all those fees that you've earned, e.g. today and hopefully for the next few months, plus the value of obviously Solana in that example going higher. So again, free call, check it on the link in the description. I'd love to speak to you guys, and I'd love to get you on the same 10K fast track that we have many members going forward. Peace, take care, God bless.